We were told this tale during Paladin training back in the temple. This is the story of the sun and the wind. For many years, the wind had teased the sun, boasting that he was far superior, but the sun would turn a blind eye and dismiss the taunts. Then, one day, a traveller was passing by. The wind came to the sun and said, "I have a challenge for you, my friend. Let's finally decide who is the most powerful once and for all. Whoever can cause that traveller to remove his cloak will be named the winner," he said with a grin. "I will go first." The sun moved away behind the cloud, and the wind began to blow and blow as hard as he could upon the traveller. But the harder he blew, the closer the traveller wrapped his cloak. Eventually, the wind gave up in despair and stepped aside to let the sun have his turn. The sun sighed, and with a smile, he radiated his warmth down to the traveller, gently raising the temperature. The traveller, seeing the wind had passed, shrugged off his cloak, flung it over his shoulder, and continued to walk with a skip in his step. The sun turned to the wind. "Kindness is always the way, friend."
I feel like that's very on brand for Amy.
Yeah.
Awesome. So to recap the events of last session.
Yeah, muted, Drew.
Does Drew know he's muted?
Drew does not know he's muted.
Hi, welcome back to the stream, Drew.
Me too, I was muted too. I was there going, Drew!
Thank you for that Bard's Tale, Kerry. Moving on to the recap of the episode. So the recap will be just of the last session. If you want to find out how we got there, go back and watch it. It's on YouTube. Last session, Airden, Anakis, Amy, and Eden, you all had Xander with you when you returned to your camp. Anakis bumped into her brother and sister, two wood elves, and...
Drew?
Yes? Yeah? Hello?
I've been gone.
Is anyone else cutting out? Sorry.
You are.
Am I still there?
Yeah, we're all fine.
Yes.
Is anyone else?
Everyone else
I think
seems
it's
to
me.
be fine.
Sorry. I can't hear a thing.
Oh, sorry. I don't know what to do there.
No, I think it's my end. Sorry, I've completely interrupted.
It's alright, you said Drew, and you got my attention, and then there was nothing afterwards.
Well...
I'm going to continue.
Interrupted that. I think...
So...
no, I think I may have to leave and come back.
Okay. While Abby sorts that out, I shall carry on with the recap. So we'll see you in a bit, Abby. So Anakis had her... oh, that's rearranged everyone on my screen. I will sort that when she gets back. So ignore the fact that it says Amy underneath Daniel. So Anakis' brother and sister turned up in her tent and told her that while robbing a guy, they were robbed, and that she should come and help them. So she gathered her friends, went to a farm, and you guys had a fight with a doppelganger that had bound and gagged Ralfred and Isabella, the gnomes that you'd run into on your way to the Citadel in the first place. You recovered them and their items. You found that the doppelganger was working for someone who we don't know. And while working that out, it seems that the doppelganger was full of little wormy parasite things, one of which infected Xander, which put him out for the count. To try and cure him, Eden and Amy managed to get the party to Tharensari using Anakis' new power of using the Druid leyline portals. Got to Tharensari, Eden managed to find a cure after a lot of wandering around and finding the right person, which she knew who to go for, but she had to work out which kind of parasite it was, and it was a whole to-do. But they managed to cure him, and then he was possessed by an angel, who we found out was married to Amy somehow, and that there is a plot by Begazul the demon to marry Amy, and that will somehow grant him power. Meanwhile, there is still an elven army moving north. It is likely to mess a whole bunch of things up, and Airden was working his way into the city, being escorted by Eden.
Yes.
Yes. While Amy and Anakis are outside with Xander / Sheniel, the angel that is now possessing Xander.
So wait, how many people are inside Xander? There's Xander, Shaniel, and Begazul as well?
Devil's threesome.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah.
Oh.
We don't know. We don't actually know what he is, though, do we? Like, we in character don't know that.
He's possessed by 3 people.
Well, no,
3 demons.
Yeah, we don't know if it's a demon, an angel, a god.
True.
You said angel, Drew, but I guess we don't know it's an angel.
That's likely. So let's begin the session by starting with Airden and Eden. Eden gets you through the front gate. You get given the side eye from the guards. They recognize you.
Mm-hmm.
But being escorted by Eden, they allow you through the gates. Eden is very quickly spotted by a few dignitaries, a few people in very fancy dress, and she makes a quick excuse to you and says that she'll meet up with you soon, and takes her leave. She goes off with this crowd of people all dressed in finery. Looking around, you see that this is a city of finery. There is not a speck of dirt anywhere. A bright white with very tan wood beams. There doesn't seem to be an inch of darkness anywhere. Everything is just bright and light and flowery. There are hanging baskets of flowers. There are a great number of people wandering around in very fine gowns, very clean-cut suits, nothing like what you're wearing.
Okay, nothing like I'm wearing. I feel like Airden, what he's wearing started off very, very nice.
Everyone seems to be dressed to go to a party rather than for anything practical.
I see, okay. I'll be honest, part of wanting in this city was just because Airden had been told no, so he just, like a toddler, he just wanted to make sure he could get in. But yeah, it's very important to Airden that he's looking good, kind of while he's, adventuring, and his clothes have been through a lot recently. Can I look about for anything, is it obvious where the source of everyone's nice clothes is? Like, is there a massive, big, tailor shop or something?
You see that there are no signs anywhere. This is a city without signposts. It seems that everyone who wants to find a place needs to know the place.
Oh, okay.
You can start asking people if you want to try and gather some information.
Is there any younger looking people?
Give me a perception check, please.
Okay. Alright, sorry, this is going to be a bit complicated this week because I don't have dice or my character sheet, so I'm using both digitally. Well, that's a critical one, so...
You look around and you see someone who looks like they might be part of the constabulary. So as you approach, he looks you up and down, pushes his way to the other side of the street, and carries on moving as you get closer until he gets to a doorway and quickly absconds within. You then feel a slight tug at your waist. And then you see a couple of very small people, perhaps children or halflings, running into a wall.
Okay. What, they went into a wall and they disappear?
It seems so.
Okay. I'll try and do the same.
This is some dodgy Harry Potter shit.
Yeah.
Platform 9 3/4, here we go.
I've got to believe enough.
You run towards the wall and you hit brick. It is this bright white wall. It seems to be a solid construction. How they got through, you don't know. You just saw them run into the wall, swivel slightly, and then they just disappeared. We'll pause Airden there for a moment. Amy and Anakis, you guys are outside with Xander. He is speaking with a strange voice. There's an echo to it, as if there's multiple people speaking inside of his throat. His eyes are glowing blue, and he has identified himself as Sheniel.
And so picking up from what he last said.
Yes, we'll pick up from what he last said. We'll assume that you guys have just been sort of dumbstruck for a few seconds.
Okay. I'm sorry. What?
We are married.
I think you might have. I'm really sorry. I think you might have the wrong person. Amy is quite a common name, especially among humans. So it, yeah.
Perhaps I have been misinformed. He closes his eyes, opens them again, and his eyes glow brighter. It is you. I can see you. At that, his eyes close again, and he doubles over in pain. His hand stretches out, grasps a handful of sod, and rips it up along with the grass. And as he releases it, what is happening?
Just 1 minute. Anakis, but just.
I'm sorry, I'm not really aware of what's going on. I'm just still playing with pianos. Yeah?
But did you listen to that or no?
What? No. What are you talking about?
Alright. Cool. Never mind.
What happened? What?
It's fine. I'll explain later. Xander, how are you feeling? You alright? You phased out a little bit again there, but you're alright.
I feel very hungry and weak. At this, you notice the trickle of blood coming out of his nose, dripping to his chin.
Well, can I root around in my pack, and do I have some rations or something? I'll pass them to him.
He grabs them and starts wolfing them down greedily, stopping partway through. His eyes glow blue again. It seems that I have misjudged. This host is weak. I do not think that he can handle me within him. I will leave.
Okay. Are you coming? What do you mean you're gonna leave? Are you coming back?
We will speak soon. He closes his eyes, clenches, and then his eyes open and they're still glowing blue.
Right.
I can't leave.
I don't understand what he's doing. What the hell's going on?
A shrugger.
I just sort of walk up to him and I sort of go like this on his cheek. Come on, man. What are you doing?
I appear to be trapped. I think that I may kill this host if I remain much longer.
Huh? What?
How did you get in? Maybe you get in the same way you get out the same way you got in.
Exit through this door here.
I'm not entirely sure. Allow me to try. He closes his eyes again. A bright light emanates from around him. You can't quite identify the source, but he isn't glowing. Just everything around him gets brighter. You start to hear this high-pitched whining sound, and then the sound and the light disappear. It takes a moment for the animals to settle down, but while that was going on, all of them stopped and stared. When the sound stops, the birds especially get incredibly loud, start cawing and flying away. The snakes begin to uncoil themselves and slither away. And as they do, one of the squirrels whispers something to Nutkin. And he looks up at you, just gives you a shrug.
What? I don't understand.
What?
Would I recognise this?
Yes, potentially. Give me a religion or an arcana ability check.
Both are the same. Come on. New dice, come on. Oh, well, that was okay. 15.
What are you picking, religion or arcana?
Both are the same. Arcana.
Arcana.
Yeah.
So you recognise that what was attempted was some kind of magical exit, rather than the typical way that beings might possess another body. Usually it's a psychic kind of connection. It seems that this is an actual possession, like some extra-dimensional being is physically inside this body. He just tried to cast some sort of spell to extricate himself and was unable to do so.
Can I roll again for a religion?
Yes.
Come on, baby. Oh, it's 14, 15, another 15.
There are rare instances where a possession goes badly. Usually it's a demon possessing someone, and they're just not able to exit whenever the situation would warrant it. What would normally happen is you would have an exorcism. You would have some priest or some holy dignitary perform a ritual, and that would get the offending creature out.
Okay. Do I know if of Cheniel from anything? I'm still talking Welsh.
The name Cheniel
Have I heard the name before, or
it'll
studied it?
seem very angelic. It'll ring bells as, oh, that'll be something to do with the Celestials. But there's no written deeds about a Cheniel exactly.
Okay.
Not that you've come across.
All right. Okay. I just sort of tap Amy and was like, and say, what on earth was that about? Who was?
No idea. But,
That wasn't Xander, was it?
no. I mean, I think it's still not Xander. I kind of like say quietly, like, I still think it's not him.
The eyes
I
are still
think
glowing blue, and the blood is now starting to pour from his nose.
Oh, God. Do you have
He's definitely an angel. I'm going to perform cure wounds, but he's probably not. Is no, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to watch and study.
I'll watch and study. That's fine. Okay, I'll step up a bit closer now. Can I help you? I mean, I'm no cleric, but maybe I could help.
His eyes dart to yours and lock in. A cleric, yes. A priest of some kind. We need a priest.
We need him. God damn it, Simon. Okay. I look back over my shoulder at, I guess, the walls or something of the city. Well, it looks like that's the closest place. Just this might help a little bit, and then I'll put my hand sort of gently against his cheek, and pump in some lay on hands into them.
Okay. How many are you pumping in?
Let's go 5 to start with.
Okay. So that's 5 points. You can see that the blood flow has slowed, but there are bruises starting to appear on his body. It seems that whatever's happening to him, it's damaging Xander a lot.
Okay. Anakis, I think we need to help him get to a cleric.
I was muted, I'm sorry. I was there trying to talk. What do you mean? But I'm not a cleric, I'm a bloody druid. I'm from the woods, I don't know much. What, do you want to go into the city? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe we can... Maybe we'll need to try, yeah.
But Eden told us not to go.
I mean...
Oh.
Xander might die. And it's either... wait for Airden and Eden to come back and go somewhere else, or try to get in now, because and then I look back at Xander. Yeah, I don't think he's doing so good.
Right, okay. Can I'll just take him over my shoulder then, because I'm like 6 foot odd. I'm quite tall, actually. So I'm just going to take him over my shoulder and say, right, come on, let's go.
You're carrying it properly.
I will carry it.
Oh
I'm
God.
giving him a fireman's lift.
Okay,
come on, let's go. Come on, boyo.
We go to the
Let's
city.
go. Come on.
Off you go. So as you guys are heading towards the gate, Airden.
Okay. I'll approach just a passerby, someone who maybe looks well dressed, and I'll just call out to them, like, "Oh, excuse me there. I couldn't help but notice. Oh, such beautiful attire you're wearing." I must apologise for the state I'm dressed in. Obviously, I try not to look this bad normally, but it pales in comparison to what you're wearing. I'm new in town, and obviously wanting to get out of these horrible clothes. Could you point me in the right direction?
Give me a persuasion check. Make it with advantage. That was good banter.
Okay. Oh, second one was 20. Do I add anything onto that?
Yep. You would add your.
Oh, I don't add anything on for persuasion. No. Well. So yeah, just 20. Not 20.
Do you not have a bonus to charisma?
No. I'm very dexterous, and dexterous is anything, but no, I get 0 added on for charisma.
Makes sense, really.
Yeah. I think Airden thinks he has lots of charisma, but
He's just a manji. Meh. Beep.
Okay. This person looks you up and down, and they reach out a tentative hand and put it on your shoulder. I can see you've been through quite an ordeal. I will take you to my personal tailor.
Oh, my good man, thank you. I knew someone as well dressed as yourself would feel sympathy for someone having to, an elf having to wear clothes like this. And I'd look down at them as if like...
Yeah, so you do look rather sporting.
Yes, a good word for it. You're too kind.
Come with me. And he escorts you through the city, barely speaking to you, occasionally nodding to other passers-by. He takes you back towards the gates of the city. And just as you're passing them, you can hear them creak open again. He takes you around a corner and to another set of gates, this time an internal set to another bailey of the city. Taking you through that, you see that this is a part of the city that is even more lush and beautiful than the first. There is a running stream cascading down this stepped area of the town. Lots of very nice buildings are all set apart from each other, detached houses spread apart, lots of gardens, and there's even wildlife flitting about here, lots of insects and birds flying about. He takes you to one of the houses that has gold gilding around the outside of the door archway, and it's written in Elven. You can see that it says that this is the family of... That's the wrong page. This is the family of Optun.
Okay.
When he...
Optun.
Optun.
Away, man, I'm going Optun.
I've written it as OPTUNN, but yes, it is either Scout or Scout, Scouse or Scott. I'm not quite sure which.
Right.
Regardless, he knocks on the door, and the door slides to the side. You are greeted by a young couple, and they bid you inside, offer you tea, and one of them immediately starts measuring you with a bit of measuring string.
Yes. Hey, where's the man who dropped me off, or who?
He's still there. He's entered and is enjoying a cup of tea and some sweet bread.
I apologise profusely to the people that own it and go, I disgrace this establishment with my attire. I apologise 1,000 times, but hopefully you can help me remedy this.
While the young man's measuring you with the tape, the woman of the couple sits down in a chair, waiting by her cup, which is quickly stirred and passed to her by another elf that just sort of scampers out from seemingly nowhere, hands her the cup, stirs it, and scampers away again. And she says, "Yes, you're right to apologise. Thank you very much." Meanwhile, Amy and Anakis. We're going to flip back and forth until we meet you guys up again. You guys approach the front gates.
I start.
Oops, sorry, you start. Nope.
Keep going, I think.
Okay.
Keep going. It's fine. Sorry.
You approach the gates. The guards initially hesitant to let you in. They ask what your purpose is.
I sort of huff and puff and I pant and I say, "This man is not well. We need a healer. Can you point it in the direction of someone, please?"
A cleric, please. A religious healer.
Absolutely. We know the best healers around. If you travel for about 4 or 5 days on foot northeast...
No, I'm sorry. He needs it now. Otherwise he's going to die within the hour.
That is most unfortunate.
4 or 5 days.
I do feel for your friend. It is unfortunate.
Right, okay.
Why are you not letting us enter?
This is the city of Tharensari. Only those with credentials may enter.
Ooh. Somewhere Airden just like goes, yes.
Is there just one guard or two?
There are 2 guards.
Can I... I'm gonna cast command.
Yes! I was there like, charm person?
I mean, yeah, charm person would also be very good.
But it only does one.
Yeah, so maybe if the other one kicks the first.
Okay.
This one. Okay, so I'm gonna cast command and ooh, I need one word.
Entry.
Well, that's not
Permission.
It's not an instruction though, is it? It needs to be like a doing word.
Move.
God, I should have thought this ahead of this.
Assist. Because you want them to assist with our...
Yeah, that could work.
Assist.
That's the best thing I can think of.
Allow.
Is it like you've got to pick from a list of words? Or can
No,
you
you can have anything, really.
Yeah, you can have anything. It gives you some suggestions, but like with a lot of the spells, you can have anything.
This reminds me of, did anyone play that game like about 20 years ago in school? It was an educational game, and you just typed in things. And it was like pop, or run, and the little man. Maybe I'm like for my age or something. I don't know.
I remember text adventures,
Anyways,
and I remember
reminded me of
Mavis Beacon typing. It sounds like a combination of those.
Unfortunately, I don't know.
Maybe help is going to be the best. Or assist, yeah.
Help would probably suit the situation best as well, because that would be something that you could pass off as not you casting a spell. It is just a thing you're saying, like, help us.
Yeah, can I say us on the end of it, but help is the...
Yeah, help will be the verbal component, but help us can be what you say.
So I'm trying to... Because basically I generally try to work it into the sentence rather than it being... So, so I can play it off if they didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to cast command and say help, but I'll say help us.
One guard looks to the other. And then, while the guard that has been talking is looking to his friend, the other one's still standing there with a halberd in hand, not moving. He taps on the wall, and the doors creak open. The other guard, the one that wasn't talking, looks to his friend.
I go.
Oh, it's gone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Oh, you're running through.
Yeah, we're going. Go. Which way?
The guard that was talking, he directs you. He says, right, go through here, take a right, and you'll go through another gatehouse. You then take a left up the central passage. Then you'll see another smaller gatehouse. That'll take you to the central district. From there, you'll find the temple.
Okay, I go in that direction.
Thank you. We run before.
Run.
We kind of gathered us all together again.
So it was right, and then it was forward, and then it was left, and then
We
forward.
remembered it. It's fine.
Okay.
Carrying a now near unconscious Xander, who is starting to have... Gone?
Can I keep my hand on his back and just pump my own hands into him as we go? So if I see that he's getting unconscious, if I see it's getting worse, I'll put my hand on him now and start pumping into him as much as I have to.
He is starting to have conversations with himself. He is speaking softly at times and angrily at others, but always quiet. But it seems that the two parts, Xander and Sheniel, are now fully aware of each other and able to communicate somehow.
Do I hear what they're saying?
You'll hear parts as you're running through the streets. They talk about how there's a lot of pain, the body is weak. You hear Xander's voice say to Sheniel, just get out of me, I want you out. What are you even doing here at all? This is a violation. Sheniel apologising, saying that you were the closest one that was useful to us, and it wasn't intended to last long at all. That's what you're managing to get from the conversation as you're winding your way through. When you get into the city, you see beauty, flowers, white buildings, the same description as applied when Laura and Daniel first entered. You pass through another set of large doors. You get to this area where there's stepped tiers and lots of buildings, running water, birds, bees, that sort of thing. And as you run up the central passage, you see a small set of double doors rather than a massive gatehouse set into another large wall separating out the districts of this city. Going through this door, which there seems to be no guards guarding it, you see that there's this massive white tower erupting out of the ground, growing like a tree. You see these vertical striations on it, as if it is in fact made of wood. There's a granular texture to the outside of it, but it's pristine white and even as well. While close up it's kind of bumpy. It's got this very even texture to it, as if it's been constructed. So you're not quite sure if it's grown or what. At the very top, you can see these spindly bits coming out of it, which may be branches, may just be bits of architecture. You're not quite sure. There's a door set into the front of it that's large and made of metal. Around the outside, there are houses set into the walls, and there is one in particular which is larger than the rest and has a symbol at the top. This is a symbol of a dewdrop reflecting the golden sun.
Is that my temple?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You race to the temple. It has no door. It seems to be little more than like a roof held up by pillars, essentially. But you do see that inside there is a priest.
Yeah, we go running in. Is there like some sort of little prayer I can do as I go through the doorway? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, there will be. There'll be. Do you mean like a little?
Yeah,
cross
kind of
yeah.
like that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yes, there'll be something for your particular church. Do you want to decide what that is, or do you want? No, you just you do it.
Yeah.
As you do it, the person kneeling at an altar at the back gets up, sort of half turns his head, notices the gesture you're making. A fellow follower, I see.
Yeah. What? So what would I call the clerics and stuff like? What's kind of the term?
You'd call them brothers and sisters.
Like father or?
You call them all brothers and sisters. There's no patri or matronymic designations, so you're all just brothers and sisters in the faith.
Okay. Yes, brother. I require your help desperately. My friend is dying. He needs to be seen by a cleric.
Oh yes, I am trained in such arts. So bring him here.
A gesture for Anakis to bring in.
Just dump the body.
I just drop him on the floor.
Alright. Okay, so you've dropped him down. This cleric kneels down next to him, looks him over, and then he cracks his knuckles and spreads his hands out slowly over the body, and you see that there's this ripple effect coming from his hands, as if between his hands and Xander's body there is a great deal of heat. And as he's passing these hands over, he gets this furrowed brow. He stands up and takes the two of you aside. Your friend appears to be possessed.
Yeah.
Yes, we know.
It's by someone who calls himself Shanael. Do you know the name?
Sheniel. can't say I do. Possibly a demon, possibly a celestial. Uncertain.
He's an angel.
Well, we don't know that technically, do we?
I do.
Yep.
Don't I?
Did you say it earlier? Oh yeah, you did. Sorry. What she said.
So.
At the minute, it's an angel.
It could potentially change. I'd say that under my breath.
Yeah.
As interesting as this situation may be, I can try something. How long has the angel been inside your friend?
How long has it been? Like,
did I get that knowledge? Oh, it's probably been about an hour.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Not long. That's good. That's good. What's your friend's name?
Xander.
The body, yes.
Yeah.
Xander. All right.
No,
He kneels next to Xander, cradles his head in his arms. Xander, we're going to make you better. Excuse me. And then he puts his hand on Xander's head and then lowers it down. Xander's eyes close and he slumps unconscious. And he drags him closer to the altar.
Can I just kind of follow along closely and be like, what are you planning to do? How do you think you can get this out? Is it going to hurt him?
Hopefully not, no. But I'm going to try my level best to get this Sheniel out. There's a few things that I can try. Excuse me, I need concentration. He takes a leaf on the end of a stick that's been set in a small vase, tips it onto one of the candles where it sets fire to it, and then he snuffs it out and uses it as a sort of incense stick with a dry leaf on the end. And he starts waving it over Xander's body. You get this smell of honeysuckle wafting through the air. Meanwhile, Airden! You have
All
been...
the excitement of being measured for clothes.
You have been measured, and then the young gentleman scurried away into another room while you were left here with the gentleman that brought you and the lady of the house. Both of them have been exchanging looks with each other, pleasant-looking ones, but nothing else. It's been silent. The only sound has been the occasional exclamation of frustration from a few rooms over, and there's also this wooden knocking sound that happens every stretch of time that starts to feel uncomfortable in the silence, so about a minute or so.
So have they finished measuring me now?
They've finished measuring you, yes. You're free to have a sit and a cup of tea and some bread.
I will do so. I'll just casually inquire as to, is somebody having trouble in the adjoining room? I hear frustrated sounds.
Both of the other people in the room shoot you a dirty look, and then the gentleman that brought you here puts his hand out and taps the side of the cup of the young lady, who then settles back into her seat and stares into the middle distance.
My apologies.
Her husband is making your clothes, and it seems that it's providing him some difficulty with the materials he has on hand. I do apologize.
Oh.
I assumed that he had everything he needed, but I imagine that it'll be done soon.
Oh, no, of course. I apologize if I've contributed to this frustration somehow.
You haven't contributed at all. What was your name?
Airden Scepter. Pleased to meet you.
Airden Scepter? I recognize the name Scepter. Where are you from, Airden?
Swear under my breath. So this is a lovely establishment. I mean, how long has it been here? It's I haven't been to the city in a long time. I'm kind of nervous all of this thing.
Indeed. The building itself is relatively new. I believe it's only about 300 years old. Such a new building has its quirks. Still settling in, I think. But the young family here have made it a home. Speaking of which, I must return to mine. He looks over at the lady of the house, gives a courteous nod, stands up, gives you also a courteous nod, and then moves towards the door.
I stand and give him a very deep bow and say, "Thank you for your aid. I'm forever in your debt."
He stops, half turns to you. "I shall remember that, Airden Scepter." Continues.
Why did I use my real name?
Meanwhile, you are sat in silence with the lady of the house for an excruciating 10 minutes more. And then rushing into the room comes the gentleman of the house, Mr. Optun. He comes in with several garments folded over his arm. He's panting slightly. I am so sorry about all of this. It is ready for you.
No, it's fine. It's fine. This is quite a pleasant place to sit and wait.
Isn't it?
Let me see. Yes. Oh, yes.
Yes, absolutely. Here you are. He pops them down on a small footstool, and as he steps away, two more elves seemingly pop out of nowhere, pick up some of the clothes, and start to gesture to let them take off your clothes.
Oh, this is great. Airden's loving this. This is what he wishes every day could be like. None of this getting your foot stuck in some vines and getting covered in goo. Just getting people dressing you and sipping tea. It's amazing. Yeah, Airden just lets them do it all.
Awesome. So as they are getting you undressed, stripping you down to your skivvies, they start dressing you in this fine silk suit. It feels incredibly comfortable. You can feel that it's got extra padding in the joints. So even though it's only recently been stitched, you haven't got any straggly ends or anything to make you feel uncomfortable. The silk itself is sort of held up in arches on the arms and legs by some of this padding, so it doesn't brush against your skin all the time. So as you're moving your arms, you just get the occasional caress of silk from time to time. So you're constantly aware of how nice it feels rather than getting used to it. It's a deep sapphire blue. It's got this glittery silver effect to it, and you note that there's a sash that
These
goes
are
around
Airden's
your
colours.
waist. The sash that goes around the middle of the waist, which you're assured is the height of fashion at the moment. And the sash is a very dull silver colour.
Okay. Fan art artists take note. Right. I nod to the lady and just yes, my compliments. This is excellent.
Will you be staying very long, or is that everything?
I think that may be everything. Now, how would you like to accept payment? I don't carry much money on myself. I could send for my manservant to bring more.
We don't accept payment. You simply have now one of our suits.
I see. Of course. I just pretend like I know, like that's what she means.
Very well, if that's everything, I shall have one of them show you to the door. And she gives a dismissive wave and then turns to face a wall where you note that unlike a lot of the other walls, there is no art. She is staring at a blank wall.
Really uneasy now. Okay, fine. I kind of give her a little bow and I let them lead me out the door. Do I still have my old things?
Yes, they haven't taken those things away.
Can I carry them with me just in case?
What's your passive perception?
It is, I think it's 14 off the top of my head.
Okay. While bundling up your things...
Yes, it is.
Excellent. While bundling up your things, you will notice that your sword is gone, along with its scabbard.
Okay. Kind of cough politely, like, excuse me, my sword seems to have been removed. I'm not sure if you just put it somewhere for safekeeping. If you could
the lady
just
of the
show
house,
me where that is.
Just sips her tea. I'm terribly sorry, sir. You didn't have one on you when you entered our abode.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
If you would like to be directed towards a swordsmith, there is one to the east end of town, a more industrial area, but we don't keep that sort of thing around here.
Like Daniel to Drew, I did have my sword on me when I went in, right? Or was I pickpocketed? Like beforehand?
So, out of character,
Or
you were pickpocketed beforehand, but Airden will likely not have realised until now.
Yeah.
But we could also concede that Airden may have put 2 and 2 together at this point as well, and not attack some nice nobles that just gave him a free suit. Unless you want to.
No, that was my... No. Damn it. God damn it. Okay. That complicates things. Alright. I don't know, I'll just leave. Look, before I leave, sorry to trouble you just once more, madam. It appears that I have been pickpocketed. I know it sounds so strange in a town as lovely as this, but could you... I'm new here. Could you point me in the right direction for getting this back? Do you know of any... Is this a thing that goes on? I did expect better of a city of elves, but, there's always a few rotten apples.
There are, aren't there? The man of the house then takes you a bit aside, sort of like putting himself between you and her. I do apologise for this being your experience here in the city. Perhaps I could escort you to a member of the constabulary.
If that's my best option, then I'm sure I can find them myself, my good man. But thank you for your offer.
Yes, you're perfectly welcome. You'll find them wandering about from time to time, but they tend to stay out of the districts as much as they can. They'll patrol the border walls, and they'll also be near to the barracks. It's in the central quarter.
Okay, thank you again, and I'll do a little bow, and I'll leave.
The 2 servants escort you to the door. One of them opens it for you, sliding it to the side into a notch in the wall. The corridor that you came through was very narrow, in fact. And then, as you see the blinding light of the sun outside, you just see people milling about, going about their day, as if no one has stolen anything.
Can I, before we do anything else, can I just check my inventory and just see what else I'm missing?
Yes. Yes, you can. While we are quickly checking that inventory, though, while I bring up the PDF and have a look, Amy and Anakis. The ritual concludes and it did not work. There's a crestfallen look to the priest. I'm terribly sorry. I can't fix him with what I have.
I put a hand on his shoulder and say, "Brother, that's okay. You did everything you could."
No, if he wasn't what he is, I'd be able to help more. It's just a shame, really.
Do you know anybody in the city that could possibly help?
And it's a strong if, but if he happened to be a relative of someone in town, then maybe. I suppose, given that you're not elves, I assume you will need to be told. We help our own here. Outsiders tend not to receive the help they need. Something like this did recently befall one of our own, a noble of a house some 50 years ago, not long. They did fall with the malady of being possessed, some simple fiend. It was no great effort to expel it from them. I simply alerted the authorities, and given who this person was, they very quickly procured the elements that I needed. But alas, I wouldn't know where to procure it myself. I very rarely make holy water.
Oh, you need holy water?
Yes.
I don't have... How do I not have holy water? Come on.
I do. Well, depending what's been taken from me.
Oh, okay, great, because Adam's gonna want to give us that, isn't he?
That's a good point.
I have a cutting of healing herbs, but that's about it.
How do you make healing water? Healing water. Holy water. Just like bless it. I don't know.
Well, healing. Not healing. Holy water.
To some, I'm sure it's healing water.
Sorry.
With holy water, it's a complicated ritual. It takes about an hour to perform, but the ingredients are simple. You simply require an amount of water that you're wishing to bless, and you need some powdered silver.
Well, that I don't have.
Do you have any powdered silver here?
No, I don't have an awful lot of occasion to make or store holy water. It's sometimes used for special occasions, but it's hardly a common thing.
Well, turning to Anakis, I mean, Eden was able to get the cure for the worm. Maybe she has access to getting holy water, or Airden's an elf. I mean, not that he's going to want to help us, but he might be able to help us get the holy water if it's the fact that we're not elves.
We can try, I suppose, for nothing, can't we? But if we don't know where they are.
Can I sorry, Drew.
I was just going to ask Airden two things. One, what was your trinket?
I don't know if I ever decided. I think it's still in my character sheet, just as trinket of special significance. I never really gave much thought to it.
Without spending the effort to define exactly what it is, can it be something small bound to your belt that could also have been pilfered?
Yeah, sure. I'll make it that it's something quite of sentimental value to me from my past.
That
I don't
would
know
be
exactly.
the two things that were stolen.
Right.
The other thing that I want to ask is, would you have made your way to the central area?
The what area?
The central district where you were told the cops were.
Oh right, yeah. Sorry, yeah. I'll as soon as I hear where they are, I'll go and try and find them.
Brilliant. As Amy and Anakis are discussing this, Airden comes into view. He just walks through the doorway that leads to the central area, and since you guys are in a relatively open bit, you can see where he is as soon as he walks in.
Can we see him? I start shouting his name across the
Oh God!
waving and jumping up and down and like gesturing for him to come.
I pick up Xander again and put him over the shoulder. And I just say...
Yeah, I mean, because you probably need to pick him up, but sure. That's fine. Adam, come quick. I need you to help. Adam!
I just kind of...
I'm like, if anyone's looking, I don't even care.
I'm looking amazing, and I'm among a city of elves, and then I see these two, like, shouting after me. Like,
Airden,
everyone
Airden,
stops
you
and
grab-
stares.
oh God! I just look as if like they're looking over my shoulder.
I run out across the square and like try to grab hold of Eden's hand and like, come on, we need to help Xander, come on.
As she says, we need to help Xander, I start trying to move the other way.
Oi! I just shout, oi! Don't you dare!
Oh, okay. Well, everyone keep your voice down. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
I have an image to uphold now. Come on.
Oh, shut up.
We need to be quick. We need holy water, Airden. I'm gonna sneeze. We need holy water.
Why would you need holy water?
We need. You don't know. Okay.
Xander's not very well. We need some holy water to help him.
Yeah, we've taken him to the cleric. He came down with something when he left. We just need. He needs holy water to finish his ritual to help Xander.
I happen to have holy water.
Oh, clap.
Can we have it, please?
Please, Airden.
Well,
You're not getting anything in return. Just give us the goddamn holy water.
well, if I'm not getting anything in return, I'm not very inclined.
It looks like your sword's gone missing. Where's it gone?
Well, my sword.
Did you get pickpocketed? Oh, what a shame! I'm sure you wouldn't want people to know that now, would you?
Oh, we can help you find it.
No, we won't. Give us the holy water.
I will help you find it.
I'm not having to argue this. I'm just letting them both.
Wait, look, we're all a team. Airden needs his sword. We'll help you find it, Airden, but we need the holy water now, please.
Do I have your word? You'll help me.
Absolutely. And I do the whole, whatever my, religious thing is.
I look to Anakis.
Fine. Give us the goddamn holy water.
Fine, I'll give them it. Kind of begrudgingly. It's my only flask and it's gone.
As we go back over, I look at Airden's new clothes and say, you look very nice.
Airden will remember this.
Okay, we go back into the temple. I guess lay him down. Are you dropping him again?
I'll drop him on the floor again.
How bad is he looking? Is he still conscious? Does he need healing?
He's still unconscious, but you know that's because of what the priest did to him to sort of help slow the damage.
He doesn't. Can I just check?
Go on.
Sorry, can I just check when we were walking through town? Did I need to use any lay on hands on him, and how much did I use? I had.
You'll have needed to use 3 points of lay on hands. Three instances of just like topping him up.
Okay. Cool.
Can I try and learn how to heal him? Is that within my class and the race thing? Because I've got a medicine bonus of +6, so I feel like I might be able to pick something up here.
You'll be able to like sit and observe. If you were to watch everything that the priest did for about a day, you'll be able to learn a few extra like techniques and things. Maybe get a bit better at medicine. Even just watching him for the ritual, you've at least learned that one ritual. But medicine's more for like a combination of like palliative and long-term medical care.
That's fine. No problem.
Yep.
Thank you.
So the priest, looking at him on his floor again. Like I said, unless we have enough holy water, I can't.
Is this not enough? Holding out the box.
Oh, it's a start. Yes.
Oh. It's not enough.
No.
Can we just get more water?
Yeah, can we like add it in and like cut it?
Like supplement it in, maybe?
And what?
That's
Just
not
stir in some iron filings? What? No. This is holy water. The divine themselves grant this water extra properties by us anointing it with silver, an element that allows them to communicate with the natural world. Otherwise they destroy it simply by touching it. It's why you don't see angels flying about the place all the time.
Yes, it is quite hard to come by, isn't it? Very valuable.
Airden,
Yes.
do you don't have any powdered silver by any chance, do you? I mean, it looks like the kind of thing you might have, you know, like...
Airden rummages about in his bag.
Silver. You look like a wealthy, well-off, very handsome guy. I grit my teeth slightly.
I just look at Amy and I'm like, what are you talking
I just like,
Shut up.
go with it, go with it.
I've got silver coins.
Could we
Can that be
grind
rubbed
up?
down?
Yeah, could we grind up some silver coins?
I'll
give you
look to the priest.
something in return.
I don't even mind that much. I'm just like, is that feasible? Like, I look to the priest, like, can they be ground up?
The priest describes to you the amount of silver powder that he needs. You know that you would need 100 gold pieces worth.
I don't have that.
No.
So, then we need to go and find someone, presumably in town, that can give us either holy water or that much powder silver.
For free.
Ideally, but you know, we help people out. If someone needs a hand, we can help them out and they'll help us out. But with Eden gone, Eden, you're the only person anyone's going to listen to around here. Apparently, they only know elves. So
Yes.
we kind of need your help with this.
Okay. Well, let's do a two-pronged attack. As we head out and look for holy water, we'll also be looking for little urchins that stole my sword.
Okay, yeah.
I knew it.
Maybe they've taken like holy water. Maybe it'll be like we'll find 2 and 1. That's a really good idea.
Yes, perhaps they've pickpocketed someone. We can take their stealings or whatever you call it, and we can trade that for holy water. Or
Okay.
I do have 10 gold coins. Can we not just change a gold coin into silver?
Well, I think it's
yes,
100
you can.
gold
It's 100 gold coins
Yeah, I've got-
worth of silver.
Yeah.
Actual silver.
Maybe not. I don't. Oh yes, of
Yeah.
course. Sorry.
It's alright. So it's 10 silver pieces to a gold. So you would need 1,000 silver pieces.
that's a lot of silver.
That is a lot of silver.
Why does it need so much, priest? Why so much?
I get a feeling he might be storing some for himself.
He needs to fix the church roof.
Yeah.
I don't say that to him, obviously.
So Xander / Shaniel is unconscious. Do I think, like, is it better to leave him in this state that the priest has got him in? Does it seem like he's not deteriorating? And if he was to wake up, he maybe would?
Brother Canto, as he introduces
Yeah, like, is he
himself,
stable? Or...
Brother Canto says that the way his body is fighting itself with this Sheniel inside, he needs constant attention, which Brother Canto is perfectly willing to provide. He will sit here. If you are going to go and look for a way to help him, he will look after him here in the temple and just consistently provide healing to maintain him until you're able to come back with what you need.
If he does come around at all, can you let him know? So, if he comes around, he could either have normal eyes, or he might have like bright blue light eyes. I kind of look sideways at. Oh no, Airden saw this before, didn't he? Airden saw him
briefly, yes.
This before, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Before
so he might
Airden
have, like,
and Eden
bright
left, he
blue
did have
eyes, like,
an instance of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought the angel thing was after we'd left.
No, it's twice. So, so the bright blue eyes is this angel thing. The normal eyes is Xander. And there's a tiny chance he might have like fire smoking eyes, but it's probably not going to happen. I wouldn't worry about that too much.
But it could possibly happen.
There's a chance. If he comes around, can you let him know that we have gone to find what we need to get to help him, and we will come back and not to leave?
Yes, of course. I'll make sure that I do the best for him. If he wishes to leave, I won't be allowed to keep him here, but I will strongly advise him to stay.
You need to not let him leave. If it's Xander, he's probably going to storm off. So it'll be fine. He won't come around, I'm sure.
Do you think he would respond well to me simply telling him he's not allowed to leave?
You could command him.
If it's Xander, no, probably not. Do you have spells that like would stop people doing stuff like command or hold person?
I would be able to get a hold of them, but I took a vow not to make anyone do anything against their will. I don't feel comfortable with any enchantment or a casting that would hold someone hostage.
I mumble over my shoulder at Airden and Anakis. Yeah, that wasn't a rule given in my temple. That's not a valid.
I come up. I walk up to you and I just say, "It's for his own benefit. If he's let go, he could be a danger."
All right, I will keep an eye on him, and I shall make sure that he stays here for your return. If anything, I might be able to rationalize it as he may be more dangerous set free. Yes, that's it. Yes,
Right.
I'll keep an eye on him, Sister Amy.
Where do you think is the best place to start to try and get this holy water or the silver?
Me? Oh, I wouldn't have a clue.
Who would you normally ask for it?
I would normally approach the constable.
Okay, well there we go. There's our start, and we can ask them about your sword, Airden. See, 2 birds.
Yes.
1 hand of seed. As I would never throw a stone at a bird. Shall we?
Let's go.
All right.
Yeah, I try and stay like a couple of, a short distance ahead of them, like away from them.
Mm-hmm. Being associated with such riffraff, it's hard.
Yeah. Also, I'm looking magnificent now, and they're, got their dirty traveling clothes on.
As you're moving across this central square, you see that there is a tall building with a spire that sticks out above the inner wall and sort of looks out over the city, with the exception being this massive central tower in the middle. And it is the guardhouse. You see people wearing gambesons with a lion sigil on the breast, wandering in and out, and they do have small arms to their side, daggers and short swords.
Can I, just before I kind of get inside, pull Uto and to Anakis? On this occasion, I think we should let Airden do the talking. And then if we need to, we'll, charm or command or something. But let's try go with this elves helping elves thing. Do you think?
Okay, yes, that's fine.
Okay. So I suggest then that we step back behind Airden a few steps, so it looks like we're just like his... I'm not going to say like servants, but...
Ooh!
We look like we're sort of following him around, kind of thing.
That's fine.
Oh, that sounds quite good.
Don't get any bloody ideas, because I swear
yeah,
I'll turn the animals on you and then you'll be sorry.
I'm not going to push Anakis. I could maybe, Amy might go along with it. I don't know. Sure, okay. Can we go in and speak to one of the guards? Or one of the...
as you approach the door, one guard is coming out. He sees you approaching, and he steps to the side and holds the door open for you.
Can I just speak to him? Does he look like, or are they all different ranks, or does it appear like he's just a lackey at the bottom, or would he know anything?
Without explicit knowledge of this city and its operation, you wouldn't know whether he's a lackey or higher up.
No, we don't need to go in, my good sir. Maybe you yourself could help. I've recently returned to the city, and I'm showing these two around. It's like an outreach program type thing. I know that they don't really belong, but it's this new thing that's been tried. And one of them, one of them had something stolen from them. Quite embarrassing. It's my responsibility to look after them, so I should, could you help us out here, point us in the right direction? We'll have to retrieve their items.
Well, if something's been stolen, it's probably from Untrathar.
From what, sorry?
Untrathar? The place where they usually come from.
I'm afraid you'll have to elaborate. We don't really know the city very well.
You yourself are visiting as well?
Well, I haven't been here in a long time. But yes, I'm not up to date with the goings-on in the city.
Right. In that case, I'd best warn you. Is it okay to discuss things in front of your servants?
Oh! I'm fucking loving this. I mean, Airden's loving it. I think I just look at them and kind of go, yes, it's fine. They won't retain much of it. It's fine. It's like, treat them like children.
He releases the door and starts walking on his round, sort of twitching his head to say, walk with me and we'll talk. So as he's walking along, he tells you about Untrathar. Untrathar's a city within the city. Tharensari is the pleasant part, the city that you see. Untrathar is where the working class live. Below the city
Ooh.
underground. We just call it the Undercity, Untrathar. It's where a lot of the undesirables go as well. I don't wish to alarm you with such crass description, but some families do have the misfortune of having a dragonborn within them. Others with an affliction similar to your friend there, and he sort of nods to Anakis. And such undesirables are sent to go and live in Untrathar, along with any half-elves or any other bastard offspring.
And I just nod sagely as if like, yes, of course.
And as you can understand, people of such a disposition would be the ones that would likely have stolen your companions' accoutrements. He stops in front of a plain wall between two buildings. This, for instance, is one of the many entrances. You'll have seen them around the city, doubtless.
Oh, yes, of course. I was unsure, of course, where they led to, but yes, that explains a lot. How do we pass through?
You simply walk in. I fail to understand. Regardless, once you pass through and down the winding stairs, you'll find yourself in Untrathar. I do advise caution. Perhaps you should hire some muscle. It's an unruly place.
Yes, but I feel I can handle myself, and the two my two charges here, they might come in useful. They might feel, of course, at home in a place like this. So I think everything will work out. Yes. So, one more thing. I need holy water for my supplies. Out in the wild, there outside the city walls. It does sap my supplies some. Do you know anywhere in the city I can replenish?
I would recommend you go and speak to Brother Canto. He is at the Temple of Life over there. He would be the
No, I'm afraid he wasn't much help.
Ah.
No.
He often doesn't order in supplies. There was a situation some time ago. He did requisition some strange materials. There was a lot of oil, ointment, and some powdered silver. We had to go and get that for him. Yes. Any of those ingredients sound familiar? I'm unsure of the...
Yes, powdered silver is an important ingredient in holy water.
Well, the powdered silver, if that's what you're needing, if Brother Canto is unable to provide for you, provided that you have someone with the knowledge on how to make holy water, I'd recommend you speak to Farouche. Farouche is a silversmith here in the city. He's bound to have all sorts of shavings and powdered offcuts.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your help. It's much appreciated.
You're very welcome. Before I let you go, I must warn you a bit about Farouche as well. He spends more time with undesirables than one should. As I'm sure you dismiss your hand servants here whenever you need to. Farouche does not.
Yes.
He does occasionally abscond to Untrathar. I advise you go and seek him in his usual lodgings, and if he's not there or in his adjoined workshop, then I would recommend waiting for him. Seeking him out in Untrathar if he is down there, not the wisest of choices.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I think a little bow, like a little nod, as if like that'll be all.
He gives you a courteous nod and continues on his patrol.
Okay, I turn to the others, the the other two. So, what would you prefer to do? What are we doing this?
I think by the sounds of it, we should go and check on this silver guy up here first, and then if he's not here, we go and do both things in the Undercity. We'll
Okay.
get him, I'm sure.
Yes, because get my sword. Is most important. This holy water, I suppose we could do on the way. Yeah, type of.
Yeah. But let's do all the things up here first. So we'll go to the silver guy first, check if he's here, and then if he's in the Undercity, we know we can do both of them.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
After you, Airden, since I presume he's an elf as well.
Me as Daniel is just like fucking Airden.
I say, I jokingly say after you, sir, and bow.
I just say effing sir under my breath. Effing sir in my effing arse.
If Airden ever dies, my next character is going to be like, it'll make Amy seem dour and kind of horrible.
So, with you guys being on your way to seek out Farouche in the more industrial end of the city, to go and see if you can find him and potential silver powder, we are going to stop and go for our break.